What's going on, YouTube? So I got another video for you on a custom that I did. I did this custom maybe it's been some months ago since I did this custom, but since I'm active on the channel now, I figured I'd go ahead and show you guys what I did. So this is one of the original Hasbro Star Wars Episode 1 pod racers. This is the Sebulba and the Anakin Skywalker pod racer. I actually had this as a kid, and I think over the years it got lost, and I believe it got given away. I don't know, thrown away something. But I was able to come across some on eBay, purchased them because I knew I wanted to do this custom on here. And one of the cool things about this custom that Hasbro did, which is crazy because this was like years ago, they actually added a lot of detail onto these turbine engines. And I didn't do anything to it except paint it. I just went over it with a bunch of different paints. I actually used a YouTube video of a guy that has a model kit for the Anakin Skywalker pod racer, and I just kind of zoomed in and kept watching and rewinding the video to kind of see like all the color variations that it has on these turbine engines. As you guys can see on here, it's a lot of different like colors in there. There's a lot of repetitive colors too, but it's just a lot of detail in there. So what I actually ended up doing was just spray painting the whole thing with a like an aluminum silver spray paint. And then once I did that, I taped off certain areas, of course, on the Anakin one, and I went back and I did a weathering finish on it. And then after that, I came back and I added in all the little details. And it took hours to actually paint this, because you really see like all like the copper wiring in there, even like the vents, going back and adding like the blue around like this part of it. It was very fun. It was very relaxing, but very tedious. But like I said, I like the way it came out. It looks really good. Added some scoring right there on the front. And the cool thing about it is Hasbro was on it back in the day, because they gave us all these like stickers, these little detail stickers and things like that. Didn't have to paint that, which was great. So that just kind of went on and just threw that on there. So this was actually a pretty simple custom to do for the most part. Like I said, it was just tedious and time consuming. One of the things I wanted to do was the lightning from the I don't know what it's called, can't remember. But that was a translucent plastic that they use for this lightning effect. And what I did was I spray painted over it with a neon pink spray paint, and then went back and just kind of fine lined the white lightning in the middle, so it kind of gave it the actual lightning effect. Now, one of the things I actually considered doing for this was adding actual lights in there, but I feel like this gives it more of a traditional, authentic look with the actual like lightning effect, because Hasbro does pretty good with giving us effect pieces, for at least for the Star Wars figures and for the vintage collection and the Black Series. But yeah, I thought about doing the lights because the guy that did the model, who used the model kit, he actually added lights to his, and it gave me the idea to actually do it. And it'd actually be pretty cool, but like I said, I'm gonna keep it simple on this one, because I just like, this is just gonna be for display purposes. It's not gonna be anything too crazy. Now, this does beg the question as to why Hasbro has not given us at least a HasLab for the vintage collection or for the Black Series for a pod racer. That is I know they're going deep into the prequel stuff right now, so maybe we'll get something like that, but I haven't heard too many fans asking for it. I haven't even heard the guys on Out of the Basement asking for it. I know they big on the vehicles, and they got the running joke about vehicles are back and they're gonna be gone soon. But I think if Hasbro came out with pod racers, which is something that we don't typically get in Star Wars or just in any of their collections, they haven't really touched base on that again. They've done the speeders, all types of speeders and things like that. But if they gave us pod racers, I think that'd be pretty dope, because there's so many of them they could do, especially if you do them in the vintage collection. I'm sure there's some of you out there that will be willing to do a entire Boom to Eve display with all the various pod racers in their pods. Yeah, this is the Sebulba one, and the Sebulba one was pretty dope too. Cause Sebulba, you know, he got all the gadgets and shit, and he likes to cheat. I actually haven't finished his because I actually need to go back and paint where the blades come out of there, where you can like add like maybe like a chrome effect or an aluminum effect so the blade looks, because they got that flat plastic on there. But I think it'll look cooler if you actually, when I add it on display, I'm actually gonna have the blade out. So he's actually like, like in the movies, attacking Anakin's pod. And so as you can see now, I have him posed. This is how it'll be posed on the shelf, but I'll probably have him angled some kind of way when I finally finish him and prop him up there. But it's just dope though, because we're talking, this was like in 1998, 1999 when they, designed and released these toys, and they still hold up today. Just, like I said, lack of paint detail, and you add that, pretty much it fits in great as a display piece with your collection, especially if you collect the vintage collection, it'll go great with it. So, that's dope. And as you can see, I got the Black Series episode 1 collection thus far that they've given us, and hopefully they will give us more. I know they're on the Revenge of the Sith tour right now, but I would like to actually get a lot more characters from episode 1, because a lot of people will have mixed reviews on that. But of course, for my generation, if you're a millennial, you grew up on that movie, and to me, it wasn't the best movie in the world, it wasn't perfect, but it was, it was fun, it was great. It reinvigorated, Star Wars during that time, and, created a buzz. And you gotta admit, y'all know that this scene right here, despite what y'all say, is the best choreographed lightsaber fight in all of Star Wars. I don't care what y'all say. I know y'all think that, what's the one? The Battle of Mustafar is the best one. It is a great battle. It is probably the most meaningful battle, next to Vader versus Luke and Jedi. But as far as choreography goes, this is the best one. This is Nick Gilliard's best work right here with these three. And the funny thing is, these two right here will tell you that, because they will go back and tell you that this was their favorite fight scene to do, especially Ewan McGregor. But that fight scene alone, like I said, that's the best. Only thing you loved about the movie. It was my favorite part of the movie. I enjoyed it. Still love it to this day. I go back and watch it, in 4K, just to see how amazing the choreography was for its time and the visual effects for their time. But yeah, give us more Podracers, Hasbro. You said added more carbon scoring on there. I guess it's carbon scoring. I don't know, I guess carbon scoring comes if you're in space or whatever, but as you see, you get the drift, you know what I mean. Y'all know what that is. I'm not adept to all the terminology for Star Wars and aircrafts and ships and all that stuff, but I do like Star Wars and science fiction and stuff like that, things in space. But yeah, man, this is a great thing. Like I said, I would love to have this like to scale with the Black Series figures, but if not, this will do okay on my shelf with everything else they've given us for Black Series in episode 1. So yeah, Hasbro, if you're watching this video, guys from out of the basement, if you're watching this video, put it out there. Tell Hasbro to give us Podracers. Tell them to give us Newt Gunray, which I know y'all have already talked about that. Rune Haku. And what I really want more than anything, which I don't know if they will do, I would absolutely love to have the Queen Amidala in her initial outfit in the red gown, with the one where she's on all the posters with, because to me, I feel like that is a part of like the episode 1, just, if there's an imagery of episode 1, she was definitely a part of it with that outfit. And I feel like we need to have that, and I would love to have it with soft goods, the works, because that was like, they really put some work into that outfit. It even had like lights on the bottom of the gown, which was dope. So if Hasbro gives us that with that kind of detail that they've given us on other things, I would love to have it all day long. But yeah, this is my episode 1 Podracers, guys. So if you guys happen to find some on eBay, don't hesitate to grab it. Oh yeah, one last thing, I forgot to mention this too. So one of the things I did add on here, I did add this part. This is one of the things I thought was cool. I went on Amazon and I got some springs. I don't know what diameter springs they were, but they were just kind of like some little springs that you get that you use inside of pens and watches and stuff like that. They were like 12 inches long or whatever. So I did that. So y'all know, like, if y'all have this original toy, y'all know, which I think I have the box right here. So in the original toy, it has like the wire right there. So what I did was I took those springs and ran them over that wire because I wanted to have the actual like real effect for the whatever the cables that go on that attach the pod to like the engines. So I added the springs over that wire, and then I took some shrink tube, some black shrink tube, added over top of that, and then lit it on fire, of course, let it shrink on there so it actually gives that effect of the cables that are on the pod racers. And then I just went over it with a little bit of paint and did some weathering on it so it has like that kind of like dusty, you know, Tatooine, Boonta Eve look to it. And I did that for both of them. But in actuality, I mean, of course, like the pods are way smaller than the actual engines, so these would be like much longer. The engines would be bigger, especially on Sebulba's, because he has a very he's like one of the biggest pod racers. Like this actually, these engines should actually be much larger in comparison to the actual pod. But I mean, it works. I like it. I'm satisfied with it. Like I said, if Hasbro doesn't give us one, this will do just fine on the shelf. They did, you know, an outstanding job on the sculpt. Actually, the original ones that they released were the better ones. The ones they re-released later on, which I didn't know they had ever re-released them. Those I don't think had as much detail in like on the actual pod and the cockpit areas, and I think it actually had less paint, I believe, on them than the original one did. But either way, you get it. Either one of them, the originals or like, you know, the ones they re-released, you can't go wrong with them. Like I said, they look, you paint them up really good, they'll look great on your shelf as a part of your collection. So yeah, that's thus far that is my Star Wars Hasbro Black Series Episode 1 collection. And like I said, if they want to give us more, I'll be waiting. So if you guys like this video, like, share, subscribe. I'll holler at y'all.